And ever wonder who quietly pulls the strings behind your favorite films, songs, and shows? And it's easy to celebrate the on screen talent, but a remarkable number of visionaries worked tirelessly behind the scenes, revolutionizing how stories are told. Their innovations weren't always flashy, but their impact is undeniable, shaping the very fabric of modern entertainment. Desi Arnaz didn't just entertain. Uh, he fundamentally changed television production. Um, Frustrated with the limitations of live broadcasts, he insisted on filming I Love Lucy with 3 cameras simultaneously before a live audience. This multi-camera setup became the industry standard for sitcoms, and his savvy business dealings ensured reruns and syndication, a concept virtually unheard of at the time. Hedy Lamarr, the glamorous Golden Age actress, was also uh, a brilliant inventor. She co-created a frequency hopping spread spectrum system, initially designed to guide torpedoes during World War II. Though initially overlooked by the military, her invention became the foundation for Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, connecting the world in ways she likely never imagined. Uh, Les Paul wasn't just a musician, he was an innovator who defined the sound of modern rock and roll. Uh, and he pioneered the solid body electric guitar, um, eliminating feedback and allowing for louder amplification. He also developed multi-track recording, allowing artists to uh, layer instruments and vocals, creating sonic landscapes previously impossible. Mel Blanc, the man of 1,000 voices, um, elevated voice acting to an art form. He brought to life nearly every character in the Looney Tunes franchise, from Bugs Bunny to Daffy Duck. Um, he fought for voice actors to receive screen credits and recognition, paving the way for future generations of vocal performers. And if Ray Harryhausen wasn't interested in early CGI, he mastered stop motion animation. Uh, he brought mythical creatures to life in films like Jason and the Argonauts through painstaking frame by frame artistry, inspiring filmmakers like George Lucas and Peter Jackson. His dedication to practical effects set a benchmark for visual storytelling. Uh, Saul Bass transformed movie title sequences from simple lists of names into kinetic works of art. Uh, his iconic designs for Vertigo and Psycho weren't just introductions, they were integral parts of the storytelling process. He also created instantly recognizable corporate logos that remain in use today. Uh, um, Sid Mead, the visual futurist, didn't just draw futuristic designs. He created believable worlds. His work on Blade Runner and Tron wasn't just about aesthetics. It was about designing functional machinery that felt real, influencing cyberpunk and video game design for decades. Marni Nixon wasn't a household name, but her voice was unforgettable. She secretly provided the singing voice for actresses like Audrey Hepburn and Natalie Wood, lending her talent to iconic musical moments. She later advocated for recognition and royalties for dosed singers, challenging the industry's practices. Uh, Clyde Stubblefield's drum break on like Funky Drummer is one of the most sampled recordings in music history. His rhythmic patterns laid the foundation for hip hop, yet he received no royalties for the countless songs that used his work, a stark reminder of the industry's inequalities. Um, Sister Rosetta Tharpe wasn't just a gospel singer, she was the godmother of rock and roll. Um, Her aggressive guitar playing and energetic stage presence predated Chuck Berry and Elvis Presley, bridging the gap between spiritual music and the burgeoning rock scene. George A. Romero didn't just make horror films, he redefined the zombie genre. um, Night of the Living Dead established the modern zombie archetype, and his films used horror as a vehicle for sharp social commentary and satire. Lon Chaney, the man of a thousand faces, pioneered the art of special makeup effects. He designed and applied his own complex prosthetics for films like The Hunchback of Notre Dame, setting a high bar for physical acting and transforming makeup into a respected craft. Uh, Mary Blair's vibrant concept art defined the look of Disney's Silver Age and set at her bold colors and modernist shapes departed from traditional realism, bringing a fresh aesthetic to films like Cinderella and Alice in Wonderland. Osamu Tezuka, the god of manga, established the aesthetic conventions of the Japanese comic industry. His large, expressive eyes and cinematic panel layouts became hallmarks of manga, influencing generations of artists and shaping the visual language of anime. Message Florian Smida, a founder of Kraftwerk, stripped music of its blues roots and embraced electronic sound DOS on. His band treated the recording studio as an instrument, laying the groundwork for techno, house, and hip hop music. Uh, um, Delia Derbyshire was an electronic music pioneer who realized the original theme for Doctor Who. Her complex arrangement created one of the most recognizable pieces of television music history, proving that experimental sound design could be innovative and iconic. Don LaFontaine's deep voice became synonymous with movie trailers that he popularized the phrase "in a world" and turned voiceover work into a highly visible and lucrative profession. Buster Keaton wasn't just a silent film star, he was a master of physical comedy, and he performed his own dangerous stunts with a stoic expression, creating moments of hilarious chaos and influencing generations of action and comedy filmmakers. And June Foray wasn't just a voice actress. She was a champion for the animation industry. She voiced characters like Rocky the Flying Squirrel and Granny, and established the Annie Awards, ensuring that women had a prominent place in the world of animation. Stan Winston wasn't just a special effects artist. He was a creature designer who brought nightmares to life. His work on Aliens, Terminator 2, and Jurassic Park combined animatronics with digital effects, creating seamless performances. Ralph McQuarrie wasn't just an illustrator. He was the artist who sold Star Wars. His concept paintings convinced studio executives to fund the film, and his designs defined the look of the galaxy far, far away. Um, Link Ray wasn't just a guitarist, he was a rebel who invented the power chord. And he punched holes in his amplifier speakers to achieve a gritty sound, uh, inspiring generations of rock and metal guitarists. Um, and Dick Dale wasn't just a surfer, he was the king of surf guitar. He pushed amplifiers to their limits, creating a wet and crashing sound that defined the genre. Douglas Trumbull wasn't just a visual effects artist, he was a visionary who pushed the boundaries of filmmaking. His work on 2001 A Space Odyssey and Blade Runner set a new standard for visual storytelling. And Gordon Willis wasn't just a cinematographer, he was the Prince of Darkness. He challenged the conventions of lighting, creating a psychological depth that transformed the look of film. Edith Head wasn't just a costume designer, she was a style icon. And she dressed the biggest stars of Hollywood, defining the glamorous look of the studio system era. Um, uh, Bernard Herrmann wasn't just a composer, uh, he was a master of suspense. And his scores for films like Psycho and Taxi Driver created an atmosphere of tension and dread. Rod Serling wasn't just a writer, he was a social commentator. He used the science fiction anthology format of The Twilight Zone to tackle taboo issues and challenge audiences to think critically. Joan Rivers wasn't just a comedian. She was a pioneer of celebrity culture who, again, she transformed the red carpet into a high stakes fashion critique, uh, paving the way for the 24-hour news cycle of celebrity observation. That Bob Fosse was not just a choreographer, he was a storyteller who used movement to express emotion. And his distinct style of jazz dance changed the look of musical theater and film. And Satoshi Kon wasn't just an anime director, he was a master of psychological storytelling. His films blurred the line between dreams and reality, influencing live action directors like Christopher Nolan. Jim Henson wasn't just a puppeteer, he was an innovator who revolutionized the art of puppetry. He created the Muppets and optimized puppetry for the television screen. Wes Craven wasn't just a horror director, he was a meta commentator who challenged the conventions of the genre. He revitalized horror by deconstructing its tropes and forcing audiences to engage with their fears. So, which of these unsung heroes do you think had the biggest impact on your favorite movies or music? Let us know in the comments. And with that said, thanks for watching, and until next time,